right, let's dive right in. Today, we are breaking down a complete blueprint to help you land your very first real estate deal in 21 days or less. Now, if you've ever wanted to get into real estate investing, but thought you needed a ton of cash or some kind of special license, you are in exactly the right place. I mean, seriously, what if you could profit from the housing market without ever actually buying a property yourself? I know, it might sound impossible, but it is the absolute core of a strategy that has generated millions for investors. So let's get into how this thing actually works. So, what in the world is wholesaling? It is not about flipping houses, it's about flipping contracts. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you find a property and you get it under contract for, say, $100,000. Then you find an investor, a cash buyer, who's willing to pay $110,000 for that deal. You sell them the contract, and that $10,000 difference, that's your profit. You never ever own the house. This right here lays out the entire process. And honestly, it really boils down to these four simple steps. You find a deal, you lock it down with a contract, you find your buyer, you transfer the contract rights over to them, and then you get paid. That's the whole game in a nutshell. Now, technically speaking, there are two ways to finalize a deal. There's something called a double closing, which is, well, way more complex and it involves more fees. But the method we're focusing on, the one used for 99% of wholesale deals, is the assignment. It's clean, it's simple, and it keeps your risk incredibly low. You're just transferring rights on a piece of paper. So, you might be thinking the first step is to go find a house, right? No. The most crucial first step, believe it or not, is building your list of cash buyers. These are the people who are actually going to buy the deal from you. And listen, you're not looking for just anyone with cash. No way. You are looking for active fix and flippers. Your goal isn't some massive list. It's a quality list of just 3 to 5 solid buyers who are consistently buying multiple properties every single month. So why does this matter so much? Because these are the hungry buyers. They're ready to move fast and they will pay top dollar for a good deal, which is exactly what you are going to bring them. Okay, so you've got your buyers ready and waiting. Now it's time to find the deals they're so hungry for. And that brings us right to step 2, pinpointing those motivated sellers. The absolute key here is to look for what's called the double whammy. First, a physically distressed property, one that's outdated or needs a bunch of repairs. Second, a seller in a distressed situation. Maybe they're facing foreclosure, they inherited a property they don't want, or they're going through divorce. When these two things combine, you have a highly motivated seller who is ready to make a deal. In the past, finding these deals was a total grind. You'd spend hours and hours sifting through listings, making endless cold calls, or spending a fortune on direct mail, just hoping something would stick. But today, the game has completely changed. The new way is all about using data for precision targeting. And a tool like GetSellers.io lets you execute these strategies instantly. You can use what's called the Day Zero strategy to find distressed properties the very day they get listed, or the old listing strategy to target sellers who've been on the market for a while with no bites. You can even filter for specific motivation signals like pre-foreclosures or inherited properties. You get this clean feed of leads. You can see the address, the status, how long it's been sitting there, and, this is the most important part, a motivation score. This lets you stop wasting time and focus only on the leads with the highest probability of turning into a real deal. Alright, so you've used data to find a great deal and your cash buyer list is ready to go. Now, the million-dollar question. How do you structure the offer so that everyone wins, especially you? Everything, and I mean everything, starts with this number, the after repair value, or ARV. This isn't what the house is worth right now. No, it's the future value. It's what your fix and flipper cash buyer can sell it for after they've done all the renovations. In this example, let's say the ARV is $300,000. This is our starting point. This table right here shows you exactly how you reverse engineer your offer. You start with that $300,000 ARV, and then you just work backward. Your cash buyer will probably pay around 80% of that, so that's $240,000. Then you subtract the estimated repair costs, we'll say $36,000. Then, and this is important, you subtract your target $10,000 assignment fee. What's left? $194,000. That is your maximum allowable offer. So, when you make that offer, a few key terms are absolutely critical. The price is $194,000. You're going to propose a fast 14-day close, which is super attractive to a motivated seller. But the most important part is your 7-day inspection contingency. This is your safety net. It's basically a clause that lets you legally back out of the deal. And the earnest money, that's the good faith deposit. But the best part is, your cash buyer puts it up for you, which means you can truly start with $0 out of your own pocket. So let's look at how this all plays out. Day 1, boom, your offer is accepted. By day 3, you've already blasted the deal out to your buyers list and you've assigned the contract to one of them. They put up the earnest money deposit, so you have 0 cash in the deal. By day 14, the title company handles the closing and wires your assignment fee directly to your bank account. And just like that, well within 21 days, you're ready to do it all over again. So what's the reward for following this blueprint? Well, the average profit, the average assignment fee on a single wholesale deal across the country is right around $10,000. Some are less, sure, but many are much, much more. So the final question is really a personal one. What would an extra $10, $20, or even $30,000 a month do for you and your family? Following this system isn't just about making money. It's about what that money allows you to do. Look, the blueprint is laid out right here for you. The buyers are out there, and as we've seen, the motivated sellers are just waiting to be found. The only thing left to do is take that first step. Head on over to getsellers.io and start finding those deals today.